Hello, and welcome to From the Gamers episode 7. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside... Oh, man, I had such a good one. The Sly Raccoon himself, Crash, how are you? I'll tell you what, look, the intro, the audio listeners, you have got the best intro. And then you got it a second time round. The video listeners who are watching it right now, I forgot to push record the first time on the video because it was on my other monitor. And I'm sorry about that. Crash, how did you get on this week and how are you?
I'm doing well, you know. Somebody dropped out last minute.
No.
Fix hit me up.
You're a liar.
Yeah. True.
No, what happened this week was you was awake at 4 a.m. playing Apex Legends, and I saw you was awake.
Man.
So I was like, oh, you're due.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'll remember for next time.
Okay, yeah, you remember.
I'll be awake this time to play Apex Legends more often.
How are things though, Crash? You good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Good.
Got some addiction going on, but we'll talk about that later.
We will. We certainly will. And our community guest, I don't call it... our new guest this week, Ben. How are you, sir? Thank you for being on.
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Tell the people a little bit about yourself if they don't know you at all.
Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I am Ben. I'm at Nova_47 almost everywhere. I podcast for OutOfLives.net on various shows. I drink a lot of booze, play a lot of games. I draw buildings, kind of in my spare time, but maybe mostly to get paid. That's about it.
Nice. Okay. So Out of Lives. Obviously, I have a long history with Out of Lives.
What is Out of Lives?
They threw me out. That was what happened. No, I'm joking.
Before my time.
Yeah, it was before. Do you know what? That's literally what we was just talking about. Fuck Ross. Yeah. Fuck. Who else we fucking? Fuck Ross. Fuck Scott. Fuck Kevin Tarney. Who else we fucking? Dave, obviously. Fish. You gotta fuck him. Fuck them all, right? Because they all fucked off over to Mixerland and made their little pod and all their fun stuff over there. Do you think they thought about the black guy of the group? No. They threw me away like nobody's business.
Left you behind. You and Lucy have just been, cast aside.
That's because she's always drunk. We can't trust Lucy. That's the problem.
True.
That's the problem.
We do love Lucy, though.
All jokes aside, though, Out of Lives, you sort of taken over the helm over there since Ross ran away from it. How's it going?
It's going well. We've got a lot of stuff going up on the site. Podcasts are ticking on. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be relaunching the Out of Lives podcast, which is going to be like a general entertainment pod. We're not just going to focus on games. We chat about TV shows and movies as well over there, especially with like Mr. Moody and the Glorious Movie Show. So
can't trust him either. Fuck him. They're all my friends, I promise. No, it's good. It's good. If you had to pick one system and one system only, what would it be?
Are we talking platform? Are we talking specific
Xbox,
system?
PlayStation, Nintendo, PC. Because mobile don't count. Let's be serious.
I mean, I've always been a bit of a PlayStation guy.
Why?
I kind of split my time probably between PlayStation and PC. I am finding actually that I'm playing a lot more mobile games now. I have a child.
Crash, we get rid of him now? Should we just
the way it
yeah, I think just end this right now. That's it for this week, guys. Come back next week.
To be fair, we finally found our mobile guy, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't play that many mobile games. Fucking hell.
So PlayStation would be where you went. If you only had to pick one, it would be PlayStation.
It would. I've got some, as most people have, I've got sort of quite a lot invested in it, really. I've got quite a large library of games on there now. So, I prefer the DS4 over the Xbox pad.
Wow.
It's just what I'm used to. It's what I'm used to, I've even got one for my PC set up. So, I just like the symmetrical sticks. Just how I'm used to playing.
Look, I'm not here to judge. I've already effed off a load of people at the beginning.
He's judging
You've judged him. You've judged me in your mind already, haven't you?
Wait. Have you played Resident Evil before? Any of them?
Any of them? Yeah, loads of them.
Okay. But not about 5 and 6. What about other than 5 and 6?
I played 1, 2.
You're allowed back. It's
Nemesis,
fine. That's all I need.
4,
That's all I
Code
need.
Veronica.
One last question: are the movies better than the games?
Oh fuck no.
Thank God. Okay, you're welcome back anytime you like. Anytime you like. Remember, guys, you can get this show early over on patreon.com/mcfixer. Go there, support the shows, keep the lights on. I'll be honest with you, if we stop midway through this show, I forgot to put electric on. Could be my electric's gone. Not going to lie to you. That's the truth. But Go over there, support the show, is appreciated. Go subscribe, youtube.com/mcfixer. And find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify, of course. The show goes live every Wednesday over there, and we're seeing a bit of success, Crash. Who would have thought bringing your ass back each week would actually work?
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely not me.
Exactly.
That's why he moved. That's why I'm on the side podcast.
Yo,
That's why I'm here.
If I knew you was this popular, I'd bring you on my Xbox and me more. Usually we start the show off with fan emails. We have got none this week. Email in fromthegamers@gmail.com if you want your question read on the show. So let's jump straight into what we've been playing. Chris, you suck. Ben, what you been playing?
Yeah. I've probably spent most time this weekend on the Division 2 beta.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I played quite a lot of the Division when it released, which was a bit buggy, not fantastic. It grew into something really good with a couple of additional modes like survival and stuff, which I really liked. But I played that almost exclusively solo. Apart from a few later missions, apart from maybe a couple of little like the Dark Zone stuff, I spent this weekend playing exclusively with Adel,
Okay.
my tanked up co-host. So I've had a slightly different experience with this than I did with the first game, which is what I wanted from the Division 2.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's such a better game playing with other people.
It's like a different game.
It is. You know, the kind of like the tactics, trying to work together using different weapons and stuff, the kind of the different ranges you can sort of both be at. I am an assault rifle shotgun kind of player.
Got ya.
So I will just charge forward constantly, and it doesn't always work, of course, but you know, I like that kind of that high action. I'd much prefer this kind of team kind of co-op game to like the FPSs that we're currently getting at the moment. I tried the Call of Duty Blackout trial like 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I just could not get on with it. I don't know whether I'm just an old man and my reactions
That'll come
slow.
back up in the show in a little bit, let me tell you.
Okay.
The Division 2, me and Chris played. We played together. I like it. It's more Division. That's literally all I could say. I put in a ton of time in the first one, which is when I started really taking streaming seriously, when I was playing with Alfredo from Achievement Hunter now. And we played, I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day to play with him, and we went hard. Like, we was at level cap, and we were destroying people in the Dark Zone, and it was just a ton of fun. That being said, like I say with Division 2, all I can really say is it's more Division. I don't think it looks that much prettier. I don't think it plays any different. The thing that I'm hoping is fixed is the little things that they've said they are fixing, which is obviously the griefing in the Dark Zone, which has already been fixed by adding the turrets system, which is you're not going to walk out of a door and just get absolutely pounded, which is lovely. Obviously, the big problem that the game had was endgame content. There wasn't much apart from just going in the DZ and trying to grind out new gear, which is obviously quite hard. I like this world a little bit more than I liked New York, from what I've played so far, strictly because Crash is from New York and I hate his guts. It's to me it's more brighter. It's more colourful. Snow does nothing for me. I know people in gaming love snow because oh my god, look at the footprints. But for me, a nice, vibrant world, and obviously it's beaten down and battered and bruised, and the White House looks kind of cool as you walk through it. But it's fine. I'm not really expecting that much. I know what I'm getting, and I'm excited for that. Chris, how much more did you play other than what we played, and what did you think?
I only played what we played. I think I played like another half hour after you got off.
Got ya.
A little bit. I don't know. Playing it, I was kind of bored when we were playing it, and it might be the fact that we were playing a beta, and none of this carries over, and I go into that knowing this. Yeah. And it was a little bit buggy, and there were some sound issues as well. Yeah,
the sound issues really annoyed you.
Yeah. It could have been that, or comparing it, because mentally I was kind of comparing it to Apex Legends and Anthem, which are both more fast.
All of those games extremely different, by the way, but sure.
100%. No. Just let me get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay. Division is a very slow-paced, methodical game, right? Mm-hmm. Apex Legends and both Anthem are a lot more fast-paced in their movement and everything.
Yeah.
Not slow whatsoever.
No.
And I think I don't want a slow game right now. And
good. It's not coming out yet.
yeah, that's 100%. I was about to add that. Yeah. It is a little ways off. We do have some time. I might burn out on Anthem and Apex Legends by the time this comes out. So 100% by the time it comes out, my opinion might change.
I hope.
But I was a little let down by it. But it was just the beta. I'm not too worried about it as of right now.
Yeah, we spoke about it, and I think it's the case of, like you said, it's the fact that, especially comparing it to Anthem, which is what we've been doing on the podcast, which is we're gonna grind Anthem every single day, we're gonna absolutely destroy Anthem, and then by the time we're burnt out on that, we're gonna jump on Division, then we're gonna grind that out and burn out on that, then we're gonna go back to Anthem, and then obviously Apex has just popped up out of nowhere, and everyone's which we'll get to. But for me, I like how different they are, which is probably going to help with the burnout, hopefully, which is, Division is third person, slower paced, and I agree with you, playing a beta is so hard because you don't get that same sense of, oh my god, there's a purple drop or a legendary or whatever it is, because you know you're not keeping it. As much as it's fun to check out the guns and look at how you re-roll and going in the dark zone, like even the dark zone is like, I didn't really care about being in there because it's like, there's no reason for me to really worry. The missions are... The one thing I'm learning about these type of games is, and nobody yet, maybe Anthem will be the game that does, but none of these games yet will ever tell a story that I actually give a crap about. It's just...
No.
It's not... The way those games are designed are just not for a story. Do you know what I mean by that, Ben? It's just... No.
Yeah, completely.
It just doesn't... It doesn't do anything for me. At all.
Yeah.
On a story
level.
It's a
lot of world building and lore building.
Yeah.
And if you're into that... 100% these games will have stuff for you.
You know, like, me. If I have to read, it's no good.
You're not about that. Yeah.
Well, that's why they've dropped mobile phones for you. You haven't got to read anything. You just got to listen.
Just listen. But even that, problem is the way I play games as well. Which again, this is definitely an MC Fixu boohoo problem. But I'm in a party with Crash or whoever else I'm playing with. We're picking these up because it's XP boost, not because we give a crap about what is actually being said, which again, that's not the game's fault. That is totally and utterly my fault. But that's why I feel like these games need to do something. Division 1 did something unique, which they did have the little cutscenes of the CCTV stuff, if you remember rightly. And that was sort of how they were telling the story, how the world was breaking down, and that was interesting. It just doesn't tell a good enough story in that, the way they're telling that. And again, like we say, I like the echoes, they're cool, but even still, I've seen it before. You really needed to make the echo something different if you wanted me to really care. So, but I agree with you. The game's fun, but it's just more Division, in my opinion.
Yeah, completely. And I think going back to the narrative idea, it's why I'm kind of looking forward more out of all of these games to Metro Exodus, because I want an experience and I want that narrative to drive me through it as well. I like FPSs. Not maybe as much now as I used to when I was faster, but I want that narrative, I want that story now to be able to push me through from not just having the same experience kind of everywhere. Yeah. So,
Metro, from what I've played in Metro, I played about 5 hours of it at a preview event, and I loved every second of it, and I've never played a Metro game before, so you're in for a treat from what I've played so far. So, let's move on to what else? Anything else you've been playing before I run away from you, Ben?
I also tried the Tetris Effect free weekend trial as well.
Nice.
That game is insane. I've never been the biggest lover of Tetris. It's fine, but they throw so much at you. The way the kind of every time you place a block or you drop it down, it hits a little beat, which you can try and play it along with the music that's going on. And the first time I started playing the first level, this song just kicks in. I'm like, okay, this is cool. There's some little visualization going on in the background. That looks really nice. Yeah. And then suddenly, there's some singing. And I'm like, oh shit. What is this? What's going on? Yeah. And this was coming off playing a little bit of the Division as well. It was nice to have a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And I love puzzle games. Obviously, Tetris is a puzzle game, and it's kind of like basic, purest sort of form. But just all the kind of bells and whistles tagged onto it just make it something slightly different. And as soon as I'd finished the first 3 kind of levels that they give you, I instantly went to the store to see how much it was. I think it's still, even with a bit of a discount, still a little bit more than I'd want to pay for.
How much is it? Just for intro, just
I think even with a discount, it was £26 roughly.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like a 32, 33 pound game or something with about a 25% discount, something like that. I mean, if it was maybe £19, I'd have bought it.
Interesting.
So it may drop down.
Probably that premium because of the VR aspect, which I've heard is amazing. Yeah. And when you've got a VR killer app like that, I suppose they can charge a little bit more for it. And everyone that I've heard that's played it loves it. It's absolutely like changing Tetris, which who would have thought you could change Tetris? You know what I mean? It's blocks. Yeah. But I didn't even know they did a free weekend. I wish I would have known. I would have maybe tried it out. But you know me. Not like I do a news show every week. I just miss it. If it ain't on the PlayStation, if it ain't on the Xbox, who really cares? Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Crash, what you been playing apart from Apex? We'll get to that last. All right.
I started Doom.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I did about 3-ish levels.
What'd you think?
And
that's when I got rid of the game, by the way, at 3-ish levels.
It's a cool game. It's not for me.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a hard pass on this one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a fun game. It's not for me what I want right now. I think if I had played it back when it first came out, I would have been in it. I would have invested in it, and I would have finished it.
Okay.
Depending on what came out around then. But now, like looking back at it retrospectively, like no, not for me.
Yeah, I remember buying Doom. I bought into the hype, and but the problem is I was so hungry for a story-driven game at the time, and Doom is not that. Doom is you are this dude. Let's go kill things. Which there's nothing wrong with, and it still makes for a great game. And there is a story in there again, but I want a story told to me, not a story through
that you have to go.
I have to go and find and read again, like I always say. And I need it. I need cutscenes. That's what I need for my story. And Doom isn't.
You know what's a little interesting about this fix?
Go on.
You're a Resident Evil fan. Like the original games are all about looking for that story. You gotta find it because it's not there when you play it.
Yeah, but that is that not just testament to how good Resident Evil is? Then, if this dyslexic kid that can't read wants to try and figure out who the hell this Albert Wesker guy is, just testament to how good it is.
Yeah, maybe.
Anything other than Doom?
Not that I can think of. No,
me either. I'll be honest with you. Division, Apex. That's it. I think that's all I've played this week. And I've played Crackdown 3. Not allowed to talk about it. I'm embargoed. There you go.
Can you even say you're playing?
So, yeah, I'm allowed to say that. Especially the day this is going to come out, I'm allowed to say that, and that's about it. That's all I'm allowed to say. Yeah, no, I checked. Look, you know what it's like.
Yeah,
you email people, you're like, yo, am I allowed to say I have the game? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, do you need me to hide offline? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool, got it. But no, yeah, from the time this will be going up, I'm allowed to say that I've played Crackdown. That's all I'm allowed to say. But let's talk about Apex. Ben, have you been playing it?
No. It released while I was away. I went away for a couple of days. Middle of last week, it came out. I wasn't at home, and I knew I was coming back, and I wanted to play The Division 2.
Gotcha.
So I've watched it and seen it a little bit vicariously through others. I went down to see family. My brother was playing it, so I watched him play for a little bit. I've seen a few other people kind of playing it. I turned a few friends onto it as well after kind of hearing everyone say good things about it. People that are still playing like Blackout and things. And I said, maybe try this out. I will get to it maybe this week at some point. But who knows? It depends if I got any time, I suppose.
Well, Crash is our expert, I guess. Crash, how many wins you got now?
6.
And one of them because of me, Crash. I never fucking forget.
Because
of me.
That is true. I'd be at 5 if it wasn't for Fix.
Exactly, and don't you ever forget. I've got 1 win, so very happy. Got it yesterday. Crash and Danone, they've died. I'm out there on my own. 2 squads left. Chris says to me, "Go and hide, motherfucker." So I go and hide, and then I just cool down my my airstrike, blow everybody up, and we get a win. And there's more to that story, but you can go check that out on twitch.tv/mcfixer if you really want to. Crash, now you've had a bit more time with the game, what do you think of it?
I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah, 4:30 in the morning.
Have you been to sleep yet?
No. Okay, so I stayed up really late yesterday.
Yeah.
In my defense, and I woke up super late, so I'm not even really tired right now.
Yeah, but you've just got a weird sleep schedule, dude. So weird.
I fix it, and then I break it, and then I fix it, and then I break it, and then I fix it, and then I break it on purpose at some point. Just
I forget you're still so. Well, it was your birthday, so I want everyone who missed Crash's birthday go tweet at him. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
So you're now how old?
24.
So you're getting old finally.
Yeah, I'm getting. Oh man, I was So my mom's birthday is February 1st, and we threw her a party, and we were looking through some old family photo albums.
Yeah.
And I found a picture of me as a little kid. I was maybe like 5 or 6 or something like that. Probably younger. I was 2 or 3.
Where'd you get 5 or 6 to 2 and 3?
Kids all look the same at those ages. It's the same to me.
Yep. All right. I'll go with it. All right.
And it just made me feel so old, man. I felt like, what am I doing with my life right now?
Didn't you say you had like your nephews and the nieces around, and they were all just like playing on their iPads? They were just playing games on their iPads.
Roblox and stuff like that. Everything on their iPads. Yeah.
That's nuts.
It was.
That's nuts.
That made me feel even older.
Alright, back to Apex then. So, why did you love it so much? You was a big fan of Overwatch. You was a big you played and enjoyed Call of Duty Blackout. Fortnite you enjoyed at the start, but then people got good at building and you dropped out.
I can't build.
Yeah, and then what am I missing? I'm missing something. PUBG, and then you played a ton of PUBG but never liked it.
Yeah,
that's a fair.
That's actually
that's
true.
A fair statement.
That's true. Yeah,
you played a lot of PUBG but never liked it. You just played it because of me.
I like to play games with Fix.
Yeah.
Fix was super into PUBG, and I was like, I'll play some PUBG. It's the same reason I played as much Rainbow as I did. It was because Fix played a lot of Rainbow. I'll play some games with Fix.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Apex. I'll start and you can finish. That's fine. I just can't. This game's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Free to play in the truest fashion, as we said last week. The gunplay, the environments, the characters, the balancing, everything amazing. The skins are really cool and fun. This game is too fast. I can't do it. I'm done. I play this game and they're just kids running around corners and jumping and sliding and popping me in the head, and I just get frustrated. I've got one win, and that one win, I worked goddamn hard for that win, let me tell you. I'm avoiding people. I don't like to play games like that. If I'm playing a game, I want to go kill people. I don't mind dying, but it needs to make sense. That game, I don't get it. The numbers make no sense to me. I'm shooting people, I see 99 come up, I'm like, he's got 1 HP. No, he hasn't. I only took down his shield. It's like, god damn it, I just can't do it. I'm too old. I'm too goddamn old. Explain it, Crash. Why is it fun?
I think it's because of the balancing. So whenever I get into a match and I lose, I always know why I lost and how I can improve on that. And I think that goes back to the competitiveness and why I like fighting games as well. Is when I lose in a fighting game, there's always a way to always a way I could have won that.
Yeah.
And I kind of find that in Apex Legends as well. And there's also the flavors of different characters. I want to use Wraith, or can't remember any of the other characters' names right now.
Lifeline, Bloodhound, Gibraltar. Yeah.
So there's always a little bit of style you can add based on what character you play, and all the weapons for the most part are pretty well balanced. They're of course like the best weapons, the Peacekeeper and whatnot.
Yep.
But it all plays relatively fairly, and it's more about game knowledge and how you approach a situation than anything. That's really why I love it. That's why I love playing it. I'll play it all the time. The last time I was this into a game was probably Smite, and Fix, I played
Damn.
Smite.
Oh wow, you're on that level.
Yeah, I think so. Because I get off and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna go to bed. I could play a few matches of Apex Legends. 3 hours later, I could play a few matches of Apex Legends.
So do you think it's just the BR bug has got you again, or is it testament to how good the game is actually built?
It's a testament to how good the game is built. Because I still don't like the BR idea of landing somewhere, picking up gear, and then dying. But this game also circumvents that by, if you die, your teammates have a minute and 30 seconds to pick up your tag and revive you.
Dude, that's nice. I'll tell you what, that is the biggest thing about this game, which is, especially from a streamer's perspective, which is, that was always the worst part of PUBG. Oh god, I've been headshotted. And you're like, alright, well, I'm just going to sit here and watch my friends, which is a ton of fun, don't get me wrong, watching, obviously, I've made a living off people watching people play video games, so not about to diss it, but it's really cool to have that, alright, what am I going to do here? Am I about to push somebody to try and kill them? Or what Crash does, because he's the real MVP, where he slides around the back, waits for them to disappear, grabs the tags, and then just runs for his life to try and pick someone up. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be Yarby, and Yarby sucks at games, and he still picks him up. And it's like, oh man, you're the real MVP.
I've won 2 of my matches doing that. Fun fact.
Yeah, it's like I say, it is really cool. They've had a few bug issues this past weekend, where people are only being able to load in with 2 people, or people are not being able to get in 3-man squads, whatever it may be. I loaded in as a solo once, and I was like, really? I kind of need more than this right now, but sure, I went for it. But it is fun. I can't sit here and act like it's not fun. It's just I can't get to grips with how fast it is. My old man brain's just not working the way it used to. Which sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that's maybe a bit why I wanted to play the Division a bit more than even try this out. I sucked at Blackout. I hated that I had a minute or 90 seconds to be able to gear up as much as possible and then leg it across the map to wherever the circle was without being fully prepared. And I'd find that suddenly someone is in front of me and I pull my weapon out, I'm dead. Before I've even got a shot off, I'm gone because I haven't got body armor on. With Blackout as well, I did quite well in a couple of them. Got a sniper rifle, found a really good spot, headshotted someone, they didn't die. Like, okay, brilliant. Did it just miss? Did I clip? What actually happened there? And then I'm dead. Like, and it just it goes back to why I like the Division a little bit more. As you were saying, Crash, it's a bit more methodical, it's a little bit slower, and that's kind of where I'm at a bit more with my multiplayer kind of experiences, I suppose.
To be the one thing I will say about Apex, which is the maps are not humongous. They're big. It's a big map. Don't get me wrong, but you never feel really that far away from the circle, even when you are like the opposite side of the map. And you do usually have enough time to. And you do usually have enough time to get to where you need to go to. I also like the fact that the shields. When you have a purple shield, you have a purple shield. You can just keep. Repairing it, refilling it, that's what I was looking for, thank you. Refilling the shield, and you never have that moment of, I've been shot in the head, my helmet's now damaged, this has happened, I need to go find more. It's like, no, once you die and you're wiped, you lose all your gear, but that makes sense, at least. Yeah. Where PUBG and other games, obviously I know Call of Duty's got the repairing now, but it didn't have when I was playing it, and PUBG was pretty much, oh god, that level 3 vest, which is the best vest in the goddamn game, is now destroyed. What am I meant to do? So, but it does have that quality of life fixes so far. How far can this game actually go? Like, let's change the big topic this week. We'll change it to this one. The big topic this week, which is Apex Legends has drew 10 million players in 3 days. Respawn Entertainment, Vince Zampella, has announced yet another milestone in the player count for Apex Legends. Zampella announced on Twitter that it hit 10 million players that have tried out Apex Legends in 72 hours. Crash, is this going to actually overtake Fortnite?
I don't think it'll overtake Fortnite. I think they'll even out and they'll level out. And I do think that both will be relatively on similar grounds just because the gameplay is so varied between the two.
Got ya.
I do think that Apex Legends being as good as it does kind of ruins Call of Duty, definitely, and possibly PUBG as well.
And Battlefield.
I don't think necessarily PUBG.
And Battlefield.
Battlefield was ruined the day they announced that it's not coming when when the game launches. So,
I was on Twitch the other day, as I usually do, and you can always gauge how good a game is when you look on Twitch, I think, personally. Because if people want to watch it, they want to play it. This being free to play is obviously the big deal here. I was watching Shroud, and Shroud had 130k people watching him play this, more than everyone on Twitch watching Fortnite.
Wow.
Yep.
I was looking at something, maybe he's sponsored or something, I've got to check this out. Nope. Wasn't a sponsored stream, wasn't anything. Shrouded Shoes, anyway, don't get me wrong, you can draw about 50k. But 130, that was Ninja's numbers on Fortnite. So I feel like the free-to-play, I feel like free-to-play is where it's at now for Battle Royales. If you want to bring out a Battle Royale and you want people to actually even care about it, it has to be free-to-play.
Agreed.
What do you reckon?
It's I would agree. It's brilliant that it's free to play. I know that there were rumours maybe a month or 6 weeks or something ago about Blackout becoming free to play, and I think those maybe were just the trial coming out. Those kind of rumours that were circulating, but it's very difficult to kind of think, how do they fund development? How do they keep their team going?
Skins.
It's microtransactions.
Just cosmetic stuff. Okay, that's fine. Fortnite do it. They must be making a ton of money for Epic to steal all of these other games to come to them and set up their store. But it's kind of, I suppose it all depends on what deal they've got with not with the publisher. Respawn, they are owned by EA, aren't they? So they are one of their studios.
Yeah.
So they're obviously just funding them, and EA have a lot of other revenue coming in from other places to be able to kind of dish out to who they want. So it's not just that game having to deal with stuff by itself. For someone else to suddenly come into the market, who may be an independent developer or someone who has then gone and got a publishing deal with somebody, that makes it a bit more difficult. Talking about Battlefield having their Battle Royale sort of mode come in, I think that's kind of almost dead on arrival, really, apart from the hardcore Battlefield players. But it does have the game to sort of back it up, had it have come out on release. So free-to-play does seem like the way to go, definitely, to try and bring people to you, at least. But as you're kind of trying to chat around, how do you sustain it through a player kind of base, and how do you sustain it financially as well? It's kind of, I mean, how does any game try and sustain themselves financially, really? It's a hard one to kind of predict, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's super strange because the one thing I will give Fortnite over Apex is its emotes and its art style. Yeah. Personally, I do think that Fortnite still appeals way more to children than Apex does. Agreed. Apex is more, I would say, probably the 13 upwards, where Fortnite still has that cute artsy look. You're not killing people, you're eliminating people. You disappear, no blood, none of that. Not to say Apex does, but you understand what I'm trying to get at here. And the way I have been compelled, have been compelled to pay for things in Fortnite, which I've never done in any other free-to-play game, really, apart from Lord of the Rings Online, which got me for some reason, because I don't like Lord of the Rings, but just MMOs, man. I love MMOs. I'm just not good at them, and I don't have enough time to play them. But yeah, that's the one thing that I was wondering, which is 10 million players, fantastic. It has the player base, it has the streamers, it has everything else going for it. Will it make enough money to really, really take on Fortnite? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to make that type of money, but I think it's going to live in its own little world for a little while now. I think we're in this world. They've got the Battle Pass coming next month, which is going to drive people to obviously buy that. Do you think that we see emotes on a Fortnite level? Because I know we've got the banners, you've got the skins. I was seeing Shroud has got this weird knife that you have to buy like 500 boxes. I think it's like a 1% chance you can get it. Or if you buy 500 boxes, if you have 500 boxes open, they give it to you. And he was saying that which is really cool, to be fair. Right. The fact that you do just get something, which is, if you do 500 is a lot, and it's a lot of money. Yeah. But I don't know. I just don't know if I can. I don't see myself putting any money in the game personally. Right. Do you? You're loving the game, Chris. Here we go. You're loving the game. Are you going to put any money into it, or have you put any money in?
Well, I got gifted the Founders Pack the other day.
Oh, wow.
Had I not gotten gifted the Founders Pack, I 100% would have put money. I still might put money. I'm tempted. Every time I play that game and I see that I have no Apex boxes to open, I'm tempted to put money into it.
Interesting.
I like it. I put a ton of money into Smite because I played Smite all the time. And I like supporting developers if I play their game and I enjoy the game. Because I do think, especially with a free-to-play game, that it's kind of unfair for somebody to play the game a lot and not put anything back into it. Completely understand some people don't have money. To some people, $5 is a lot and you can't afford it. That's cool. I'll put $10 in. 5 for me, 5 for you.
Exactly, I got you.
So I get all that. I do think they do need something more. I do think emotes would be cool or something like that. And the game is early. Fortnite didn't really have emotes when it first came out.
No,
it had emotes
I know
you
what
could
you mean,
do, but it didn't have viable emotes and whatnot.
It didn't have what it's got now.
Exactly.
Maybe their thing's the executions. You get new executions.
Yeah, but they're kind of awkward to do unless you have the gold chest piece it is that recovers your shield if you execute somebody.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Yeah. There are the loading frames when you load in, and you'll see the screens all over the world showing whoever the kill leader is or the champion or whatever.
Yeah. But that means you have But you then necessarily need to be good at the game to even warrant paying out all that money to have a good banner. Where Fortnite is just I've got this cool dance.
And you'll mess around with your friends and whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. It depends. It depends how they approach it. I do think one thing they definitely have to do is keep bringing new content.
Yep.
Remixing the world in some sort of way. I don't think that's an immediate thing they need to do. It's a new game.
Yeah.
You can let it live like this for now. But do what Fortnite does. Fortnite will change their map. They'll get rid of one place and add something else.
Yeah.
And do that little by little, and I do think they need to do that. I don't think adding a new map, a new second map works. I think we saw that with PUBG. Nobody ever liked the new maps they added.
Yeah, well,
until the most recent one, I think.
The new one people really like, yeah. But I agree with you 100%. I think remixing the map is a way better idea than giving us new maps, which I never thought I would have said that in my life. But then you don't need to try and sell something again. It's still the same game, the same this, the same that, but we've added a section where there's a water park. Like,
and people don't like that spot, they won't land there. Somebody will like it and somebody will land there.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think this game definitely will. I think it'll survive. I think it'll be fine. I do think that no matter what, it'll be the second BR below Fortnite or on level with Fortnite. I don't think it overpowers Fortnite in the long run.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. We've seen so many games come and go already in this Battle Royale phase, whether it be Darwin Project or Realm Royale, or there's more that I can't even think of. Radical Heights. There's just so many games where you're like, oh, this looks cool. People play it, they like it, but it doesn't have its monetization sorted, and that's why it goes away. Will this be, I don't think this will be another one, but I'm just interested to see how long it actually lasts. Fortnite was the thing, and still is. Like Minecraft, still is a thing. Millions of people still playing it. But I wonder how the mindshare and the conversation will move.
It's an interesting one, not just in like the Battle Royale genre either. It's going to be an interesting one in how mindshare works for kind of the other games that, say, like Respawn will be making. So with Fortnite, obviously the success of that pulled away from Paragon. Epic said, we're not going to be making this anymore. They've stopped making whatever the new Quake game was that it was that they were Legends or tournament,
or whatever it
was
in
like alpha and beta for absolutely ages, and they just said, well, we're not going to update this anymore. They must have moved a ton of people over onto Fortnite. Whether this then has a similar kind of effect, obviously Respawn have got the new Star Wars game coming out at some point, whether it's this year or next year.
This year.
Is it though? But how?
I trust in Vince, alright? You have to have some trust in this world, alright?
A load of people will be wanting Titanfall 3 after how well received Titanfall 2 was. Maybe not how well it did, but how well received it was.
Yeah.
So how does that then affect what's coming and what's going on with them? Have they then got to put on a massive team to keep up putting out new content for this game, to make sure that it retains kind of the success that they've suddenly found? And, you know, they might have had projections to sort of say, we this is how many people we kind of expect to come in. And I remember a tweet, it might have been another tweet from Vince saying, we've hit 2 million people. And obviously that was a milestone for them. He felt enough to kind of comment that they had 2 million people. So whether that was roughly where they were thinking they'd get, and then suddenly they just fucking explodes. So, that it warrants at least a business meeting to sit down and kind of assess what's going on.
Yeah.
I think EA would wait to see how Respawn's next game does, and if it does well, they'll be like, okay, Respawn, you can keep doing your thing. We'll invest more money to get more people to work on this game. because I think it'll be worth it most likely for EA to invest more into the game with how well it's perceived, at least right now. In the long run, we'll see. Who knows? So it's definitely an interesting situation.
Here's the question. Do you think we got Xbox Scarlet and PS5 coming in the foreseeable future? The first Battle Royale game on those systems, new Battle Royale game, if it's good, could be the kill. That could be the one. Like, because people always want new. They always want shiny. They always want something different. Obviously, I can see Fortnite and Apex Legends and PUBG all moving over to the new consoles, obviously, because why wouldn't they? But a new shiny Battle Royale on a new system where, obviously, the PC players are still going to be doing whatever they do, but for console people, and if they can get the cross progression and cross play and all that stuff out from the start, that could be the big one, in my opinion. That could be the next big
Can't be
one.
Exclusive in any form, though.
No, not at all.
It has to be on everything.
And
it even has to be on the Switch.
And it needs to be free to play.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's move on. Let's get into the news this week. Not much news, but there's a few bits. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold 23 million units, pushes Take-Two earnings above expectations. Publisher Take-Two shared their physical third quarter report, which ended on December 31st, Wednesday morning, growing substantially in net revenue due to the success of Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 largely exceeded expectations, selling 23 million copies on the retail front worldwide, and increasing digital sales revenue. Net revenue for the company grew to 1.249 billion compared to the 480 million in the same quarter of 2017. Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I haven't even thought about since I finished it. I've got to be honest, I finished it, I played the online for 2 days, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, I really expected it to be... I remember being like, we're going to play Red Dead until Anthem drops. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Didn't happen.
I don't like it. I don't like the online, the story to me, and Red Dead Redemption 2, great game, great art piece, great showpiece for what Rockstar can make, but not a fun video game, in my opinion. But good to see it selling well. Ben, did you ever play it?
Was my favourite game of last year.
If so?
I absolutely loved it. As I said earlier, I'm all up for narrative in games. I felt that it did it really well. It kind of paced it in a way that you never felt rushed to do anything, but when they wanted you to be rushed, they did that. So loads of games sort of say, hey, we've got to go and stop this bad guy, but do what you want for as many hours as you like. He'll wait. It's fine. Whereas Red Dead kind of... any urgency was kept within a mission, and then it was like, go and explore the world a little bit. It's something that I thought Spider-Man kind of did well last year as well. I hated the online, absolutely hated it. I think I played even less than you did. I think I played about an hour and I was done. I just didn't want to experience it anymore. This is massive, considering I think Red Dead Redemption, before it came to backwards compatibility and before it was on PS Now, had done something like 8 million copies. It's just a huge jump.
It just grew out of it grew out of the ether, didn't it? It was Red Dead to me. I remember playing the first one, didn't like it. It just didn't click for me for some reason. Enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2 way more than I did Red Dead Redemption 1, but I just don't think it's, like I said, pacing for me. Respectfully disagree with you, where it's just like I never felt. It's just like just to me, it just annoyed me. The horse on its own just frustrated the hell out of me. If I have to run into another tree, I'm gonna just blow my own brains out. But yeah, to be fair, there is DLC coming for that game, and I am compelled to play it as well when it eventually gets there. The sure as hell better be, because I paid like £70-something for that game when it came out, because they said there were story missions coming, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it went from this little, not little, because 8 million is still not little, even in the grand scheme of things, but it went from the B game, which it still is the B game compared to GTA, but I'd say it's more like maybe not a B game, maybe they're both A's, but GTA's an A+, and Red Dead's now an A. It went from a B to an A now, where it's like, oh, we know this is going to sell well as it's going to sell not as well as GTA, because nothing sells as well as GTA, but it's going to sell enough money to help our bottom line, to help our revenue. They go on to say that it sold a ton of virtual currency in other games as well as Take-Two, but we know that the virtual currency is obviously making money in Red Dead Redemption as well. But yeah, I'm wondering who's still playing online, if I'm being honest with you, because the GTA people are still playing GTA, and the Red Dead people have enjoyed the story now. Most of them, if you're still not finished it, I'm sorry. Please, come on. Did you ever finish it, Chris, the story?
No.
I told you you'd never finish that game. I told you you'd never finish that game. I told you.
Too slow.
I love being right.
I can't.
Chris. I love being right.
I can't finish that game for the same reason I couldn't finish Assassin's Creed.
Which is?
Too slow.
How dare you? Assassin's Creed's amazing.
Stuff I don't want to do.
Assassin's Creed's
I just
amazing.
want to play the story, man, and those games do not let me just play the story sometimes.
You suck. Benny sucks.
True statement. True statement right there. I've heard it a few times.
Did you expect it to sell this much? Is the real question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally did, because there was more hype for this. So many more people were saying they love Red Dead that didn't even really play Red Dead.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know where all this hype came from, but no way the OG Red Dead got this much hype.
No.
This much hype.
Ben, did you think it would sell
I'm
this?
glad.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up there, Chris. Did you think it would sell this well?
I thought it would
Ben?
sell better than the original. Than Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have put it closer to like half this. Maybe Virgin on 12, maybe 13 million, something like that. You're retaining a lot of those, maybe 8 million people, plus a few more perhaps. But I assume that GTA 5 has kind of pushed this up maybe a little bit. You know, the success of that game has made people think, oh, okay, we'll play Rockstar's next big game. And we've gone from a stage where Rockstar were putting out a couple of games a year to maybe one game a year to suddenly GTA 5 being this massive game that took a couple of years to come, and then they didn't release anything for a few years for Red Dead to then come out. So it's this kind of this showpiece almost that they've built it up so much. You know, they haven't had like Bully 2 or something come out in between to kind of take mind share. Well, I would love that, but they haven't had that to kind of take away mind share. I'm dying for them to do a remake or a remaster of Manhunt as well. But everything they would do would just take away, I suppose, from Red Dead, and they've wanted it to be the main product they've had coming out, and I think maybe that's helped them to push it a little bit more. I don't know whether they did anything in GTA Online to kind of to push this, like, hey, you can now have some extra revolvers and stuff, you know, whether there was maybe...
I think they did like one mission. There was a mission that you get a revolver or something, but it wasn't nothing
like
crazy.
Little things to kind of just push it that little bit more to their current user base, which may have just bumped this number up a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if you bought Red Dead as well, you got
you got a million currency. Yeah, I think you're right.
So,
but even that though is like.
I
don't think that would have been the thing much. What's that really pushing a couple, maybe 100,000? That's a top end if I had to say it. Like I don't know. It's really interesting to see how well it's doing though. Yeah. Next up, former Telltale devs form new adventure game studio. This should be interesting. Several former Telltale gaming developers have founded a new company, Ad Hoc Studio. According to Variety, 4 former Telltale devs have reunited to form Ad Hoc with the intentions of continuing their legacy of crafting narrative-focused games. While details of their first project have not been revealed, quote, the team is strongly hinting, end quote, it will be an, quote, interactive live experience, end quote. Jesus crumbs, I hate quotes. Quote, making interactive experiences with real actors on the screen is something we've always talked about, end quote. Ad Hoc Chief Creative Officer Pierre Shorten?
Pierre Charette.
Yeah, cool. There we go, boys. We did it together. Said, we all have a background and interest in films and TV, so combining that with our experience in games is something we're exploring right now. I'm worried. I'm worried. I really am. Was it last week we spoke about Walking Dead, Crash?
I think it was the week before that.
I think it was my Xbox and me then. Me and Amy spoke about Walking Dead. And I was saying how The Walking Dead just doesn't have that same pizzazz and special sauce that it used to have, where, like, I remember when they used to say, Walking Dead is coming out this day, that I would rush home from work or whatever it was I was doing. I was lucky in my job. I'd be like, I'm not coming in for a couple of hours because of what I was doing. I was a security guard, and so it's fine. I'm playing Walking Dead and I'm streaming it. Now, I'm like, I've still got episode 3 on my Xbox. I'm like, Haley yesterday was like, should we play Walking Dead episode 3? And I was like, no, I'd rather do something else. And it's a shame because it used to be such a moment in gaming time where everyone was like, water cooler moment, which is, oh my god, have you played the new Walking Dead? Oh my god, what happened in your one? What happened in this one? Da-da-da-da. And now, I'm just worried about any of these studios, new studios, great, amazing people that make amazing games, but have we moved away from this experience, and is that why Telltale died in the first place? Or was it strictly poor management with too many projects promised and taken in? I don't know.
I think it would be, like, a little bit of both. I don't think us, like, as consumers are necessarily away from this type of media, because Detroit Become Human, everybody loved that, and that is in a similar landscape. It's just we've seen it done better than what Telltale was giving us. Detroit
Become Human is amazing. Joe, what? Maybe you're right. You made a very good point there. Detroit Become Human is amazing. It's very much that same vein, but I actually cared about most of the characters in Detroit Become Human, where even in Walking Dead, it's like, I care about Clementine, I care about Lee, and there's one or two characters that I'm like, oh, they're probably going to die. In Detroit, I never knew what was going to happen, because of the whole, the tree system and everything, there was so many different scenarios, where Walking Dead is pretty much column A, column B, and maybe you get a column C. And half the time I want to be silent anyway when they're talking, because I don't agree with half of the things they put up, which is, do you know what I mean? Like, for me, because I've never, only in this season, it's like F off and stuff like that, and I'm like, yep, that one. But previously they didn't have that, so I just sort of stood there like, yeah, nodding away. Like, you're right though, we are still seeing these games do popular. Detroit Become Human done really well.
Until Dawn as well, which is a little older.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it to you. It's a little bit
in that vein of interactive story.
Yeah.
Where you get to choose the outcome and everything.
So do you think that Ad Hoc Studio, the new team, they said that they're obviously lovers of film and TV. Do you think that's more the experience they're going to go for, like a Detroit Become Human Until Dawn, than a Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us or stuff like that? Which would be actually really interesting.
Yeah, possibly. I'm interested in how, because this has an interactive live action experience.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious how exactly they do that. I know games in this vein have been done live action experience. I haven't played any of them. But I do believe there are
Quantum Break.
one or two floating out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to see what they do. I think this will either be a huge success or it'll just pass through the radar.
Yeah.
Sadly.
The one thing I will add here is they did have talks actually to go and be under Ubisoft's umbrella. Which they actually declined because, and I'm not going to read the whole quote, but they pretty much what it said is they wanted to remain flexible and be able to do whatever it is they wanted to, other than just be under Ubisoft, and when things are not going right, well, then you need to go and do this or do this. They do have that flexibility, they know what they want clearly, and I'm just worried to see another talented studio die because of its games not getting supported. That's the only thing that worries me.
Yeah, with the like kind of going back to the first point with the live action stuff. I know that I played. I really enjoyed stuff like Until Dawn. Because of the decision tree, more so than kind of like the Telltale games. I loved the first Walking Dead season, and I kind of gradually pulled away from it a little bit. I've got the new episodes sat on my machine. I haven't even started season 4 of it yet. But we've got a couple of other games coming out. So there's Erica, I think it's called Erica, which is coming out for PlayStation, which is a PlayLink game. So you make decisions on your phone as a group. There were things like Hidden Agenda, which my partner and I played, which we really liked.
I played.
Okay.
I didn't finish it. I didn't ever finish it. I played it. I played the start of it. Got about 3 hours in, and I was
There's not much more to play after 3 hours.
You're
probably pretty close to the end after about 3 hours.
Maybe it's not. Maybe I didn't get 3 hours then. Maybe it was only an hour. Yeah, it felt like 3 hours then. We played. Me, my fiance, and my uncle played it because we thought it was kind of cool. But you don't really need 3 people to play it, because if you've got 3 people, it's really whatever 2 people agree on. That's what it is, and it doesn't really. It's a story being told to you. It reminds me more now of Bandersnatcher, which I haven't watched myself yet. Which is all right. We've got all these different scenarios, but here you go, boom, 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 and it just never drew me in.
I mean, no, that's fair, man. Completely. I think there is probably a platform for this, and there is somewhere to put it. There will be an audience for it, and they just need to be clever about where that goes and how they use kind of like current tech to build into that. The idea of going under Ubisoft, I know when Telltale kind of dropped out, Ubisoft and a load of other studios were kind of like, hey, we've got positions, here's our stuff, and Ubisoft actually held an event, didn't they, for people to kind of go down to chat to them at, which is brilliant. Great way to kind of support the community and sort of all of the developers and things. And it's interesting for these guys to kind of say, we want the flexibility, but again, where's your funding coming from? Are we going to now see sort of like a Kickstarter program, or is it going to be, we've got a proof of concept, we've got a little bit of stuff down, and then try and ship it out to certain publishers and funders and people like that. So it'd be interesting to kind of follow along, especially with a load of the Telltale people, some of the Telltale people going over to finish off season 4 of The Walking Dead as well. A load of people again staving off the idea of not having a job, but possibly a load of other people going to have even more studios being formed with more ideas and more things happening in, at least when The Walking Dead season 4 is finished, perhaps.
No, you're totally right, to be fair. It'd be interesting. It will certainly be interesting. I'm interested to see what they come up with, so it should be fun. Next up, Activision Blizzard reportedly planning massive layoffs. This is what always scares me. Activision Blizzard is reportedly planning on announcing job cuts that could quote, number in the hundreds, end quote, following slow sales for the companies responsible for such titles as Call of Duty and Overwatch. As Bloomberg reported, the announcement of these layoffs could arrive as early as Tuesday, which was of last week. I've not seen any other article on this, so it clearly didn't happen yet, and are part of a restructuring, amendment, and circularization function of bolstering profit. Activision Blizzard shares dropped 2.5% on Friday, and is furthering the story was acknowledged. What's coming down here is, at the end of the day, Overwatch is not still selling games, which is what it comes down to. Why would it? It's I get it. It's a great game, and Overwatch is amazing, done by a talented studio. But you've only released Call of Duty, and they did go on to say, obviously, that Hearthstone wasn't making enough money. Destiny 2 didn't make enough money for them, hence why Destiny's now gone. But Activision and Activision Blizzard especially are in a really weird place right now in the industry. They've got the biggest franchise of all time, really, if you really want to go down with it, which is Call of Duty, which sells gangbusters numbers, 20 plus million every single year, bar none. And yet they still can't get it right. I don't know. Their business model seems weird if that's the case.
You also have to think about some of the games they have. They're long form games, and that people have to keep investing money in it. World of Warcraft, Overwatch, in these games. And from what people say about it now, I have no proof, but this is what people talk about, is that Activision, at least for the Blizzard side, forces Blizzard to make stuff mounts in World of Warcraft that you have to buy, and all these things that sort of make players distance themselves from these franchises that they do like, because they don't like the road that it's going down.
Well, you already have to pay £15 a month for whatever it is to play World of Warcraft, so you don't really want to pay your £15 and then have to pay whatever else it is on top to get this, and this. It's like, well, I'm buying another game at this point. Like, what? I just... It doesn't make sense to me. It's annoying. Obviously, these things happen. Business happens. Business is hard. Trust me. I'm an independent businessman. It's hard. Taxes are scary, let me tell you. Especially when you're a man-child like me. But when you're making a ton of... It reminds me of EA in a sense, where it's like, EA, obviously, they make a ton of money with FIFA, Madden, whatever. Insert game here with their big titles. and then they get to do other little things, and some of them pay off and some of them don't. Obviously, Apex is one of those things that they've taken a risk on and didn't kill it when they bought the studio, Respawn, and it paid off. Where I don't ever think of Activision and think, oh, they come up with a new idea. It's either, obviously, Overwatch's been out for a while and it was a big deal when it launched, but now I'm like, what's next? We don't know anything.
Yeah, Overwatch.
It's a Blizzard,
I
definitely a Blizzard game, isn't it? Like
that was Blizzard.
No, Activision Blizzard. Sorry, you know exactly what I was trying to reference there.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, well, we'll soon see. I guess it's just a strange scenario to be in.
With this, I'm also kind of hoping that this gives somebody the opportunity and incentivizes Activision to sell its shares of Blizzard, which will never happen.
No.
But I really hope that happens at some point, because it's not going to be a good look.
Completely. I think it comes down to like, where are the games as well. We do have a few games coming out, but Diablo 3 was a while ago now. Okay, it came out on Switch last year, not that long ago. Okay, you brought it to a new platform. Great. That's a few more people bringing in. StarCraft, the newest one, came out again a year before that, or 2 years before that. World of Warcraft is 10 years old now. There's been no.
Come to console. God,
it won't come to console. But where's not even World of
console.
Warcraft 2? Where is their other kind of MMO? You'd have thought that they'd have taken that idea. World of Warcraft was massive. That was absolutely huge.
Yes.
Where is something that's been that's come along from them as well? As you said, Overwatch. The figures are dropping, and people are going away. People are going to things like Apex Legends. People are being drawn away to these other newer experiences. They've kind of faltered a little bit, I think, in their output, which ultimately takes mindshare away from them, drops sales. People stop playing the games that they have. They don't invest as much in. Diablo 3 had the issue with the marketplace and things like that when it first launched. So a few bad talking about bad moves, bad management in the part of like Telltale and stuff. I think again it's the same thing here. It's kind of a bit of maybe not mismanagement, but maybe a few bad decisions, maybe a few delayed releases. I think I say a new MMO didn't come out. They were making, I think it was called like Titan or something like that, which was going to, which turned into Overwatch. So they kind of, I don't know, I reckon Titan would have come out. Overwatch then maybe took another year or another 2 years, so that pushes things back a little bit, so they're not hitting kind of like the key milestones or progress that maybe they want to make. So it kind of, everything sort of just culminates to kind of just drop them down a little bit and just not push anything out for people to be able to buy, essentially.
Yeah, I don't think their output is big enough to. I get it, but you've got people are losing their jobs here. At the end of the day, obviously, I get it, your share market's down. That's what affects everything. But when you're only releasing Call of Duty and then relying on people to buy loot boxes in Overwatch, I can kind of see why things are going wrong.
Something's wrong in the management there. Something's wrong in what they want from these studios and what they're expecting.
And again, we're talking about Overwatch, and Overwatch people still spend money in, by the way. And Call of Duty people are still buying it. It's still an MPD like every month. Just crazy. Yeah. Next up, NetherRealm confirms Shaggy will not be added to Mortal Kombat 11. Chris, this is for you, mate. Despite the internet's pleased to see the hero of the hour, Scooby-Doo Shaggy, won't be making an appearance in Mortal Kombat 11. During NetherRealm's Combat Cast, live streamed via GameSpot, the company revealed that Cabal will be back on the roster, but also confirmed that we won't be seeing Shaggy make the list. Community manager Tyler Ledstown shut down fans' dreams, saying Shaggy will not be in the game ever. Sorry, dead meme. Crush, how do you feel about this?
I'm happy. No one really wanted Shaggy in this game.
What?
You don't want Shaggy getting beheaded and his brain coming out and all this other stuff. His brain getting eaten by Baraka. Nobody wanted to see that. Nobody.
So you wasn't on the fan trail of we should have this.
I hated the meme since the second I saw it. I was like, y'all are fake. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants their childhood ruined that way.
Would you abort
I like
it?
my childhood
Would you
the way
abort
it is. What?
Shaggy.
Oh, of course. I'm going to buy the DLC pass for this game, so I would have had him. I would have played him. I would have seen the fatality. My childhood dreams would have been ruined. No more Scooby-Doo. I couldn't watch Scooby-Doo after that happened.
I'm pretty sure you're okay. When was the last time you watched Scooby-Doo?
That's a good point. Bring Shaggy back. What are you guys doing at NetherRealm?
Ben, are you into Mortal Kombat?
I played a lot of Mortal Kombat. I haven't played 10. I played a very small amount of 10 or X or whatever, XL, whatever version of it was.
X, yeah.
I've just, for the same reason I've gone off FPSs. I'm an old man, my reflexes aren't as good anymore. I've kind of pulled away from fighting games. I've played a lot of Street Fighter 5 because my wife loves Street Fighter because she can just smash the shit out of people. Okay. So we play a lot of that.
Yep.
But the slightly more combo heavy games, I didn't really get on with, like Injustice when it came out. But we've seen, the Turtles came to one of them. I don't know which game they came to. I can't remember which one it was.
That was Injustice.
So we've seen kind of these little crossovers and things. So I could, when people started talking about it, like, nah, that's a stupid idea. And the more it kind of built into it, like, I could see this happening, You get Shaggy at whatever it is, 5% of his power or whatever the fuck people talk about on the internet. The main kind of question is it cartoon Shaggy or is it Matthew Lillard Shaggy? When he's all hulked out and stuff.
No, it's not cartoon. It's not cartoon, no way.
I suppose things like this massively come down to rights.
Well, WB own the rights. WB own NetherRealm, right? So I'm guessing they were just like, no, you're not killing Shaggy in your 18 plus monster eating game where his brains can be spat out and chewed out. No, Shaggy's not dying. You think we want kids to see this? Put that on YouTube. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and the first thing pops up, Baraka's eating his brain. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's not. No, thank you. No, thank you. I thought it was funny. Seeing the memes go around, but yeah, this doesn't surprise me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Next up, The Outer Worlds won't be as long as some people think. Thank God. The Outer Worlds developer Knight of the Old Republic and Fallout New Vegas developer Obsidian Entertainment won't be nearly as long as some fans are hypothesizing. In an interview with Game Informer, co-director Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I got that right. Discuss fans' expectations for the game, and while they strongly feel it's an awesome game fans will want to play, they want people to know it's a more reactive RPG than a sprawling open world. Quote, people think it's more an open world sandbox of a game and like, they're going to be able to go anywhere and on any of the planets. No, said Kaine. People are speculating that hundreds of hours of gameplay, and no. When asked if players could beat the game in 15 to 40 hours, the developer said that it would be a reasonable guess. Boyarsky compared it to the size of one of its most popular games, then it's probably roughly comparable to maybe like a KOTOR 2 size game, maybe even a little bit smaller than that. End quote. They also sympathise that this game is being made as a highly replayable experience, and that the time it takes players to finish the game will vary drastically depending on the player's playstyle. I am 100% okay with this. I mean, the Outer Worlds, it looked cool what I saw. A 15 to 40 hour experience RPG, perfect. For me, I'm like, please, give me this, give me it now. Like, why else do I need, like, I don't need a Fallout. I need the team from Fallout to pull it in and make me a great story, which is what it sounded like it could be.
Yeah.
Would you reckon, Ben?
I like this.
Oh, sorry, Gresh.
Okay,
go, Ben.
Yeah, I think that's great. I haven't got time to play all of the games, so to know that I could get this and maybe bash it out in a week, 2 weeks, something like that, and get, a full experience from it. It's not like I'm going to be playing for 20 hours and then miss a load of stuff because I haven't invested all of that extra time, is brilliant. I'm really kind of enjoying what I'm seeing from it. I think we've got a lot of kind of similar-ish kind of games coming out, perhaps, like Rage 2 and things like that kind of, they inhabit a similar kind of space. So as long as, if these games are coming out and they're 100, 120 hours, if they're like the Witcher 3 size games, I just don't have time for that anymore. And I'd only play one of those, and I'd have to decide which one of those I wanted to play, you know. So to know that I could play both and they kind of respect my time a little bit is brilliant. I'm fully behind that.
Yeah, I mean, Crash, what do you think? Are you happy? You're someone that doesn't finish games very often. You've beaten more games than me this year so far, but the year is still early. Is this kind of what you want, or are you a little bit upset that it's not bigger?
I like this. I like a more cohesive story. I'm assuming that I can just like mostly go through the story and there'll be side options of stuff.
Yeah.
But a 15 to 40 hour game tells me that all the side stuff is optional and it doesn't kind of force you to do it with like level requirements and everything.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is a long game. How long did it take you to beat the game, Fix?
50 hours? 60 hours? Something like that.
And you still had
I've still got a ton of stuff to do in that game. I've not even touched.
Yeah. So
I mean, I was.
So I like this.
Yeah, I was trying to do it for a review, and like I just couldn't get. I couldn't get to the end. I'm a little bit what I'm worried about with Metro Exodus. If I ever get a code, I'm like, oh god, that game's gonna come out, and I'm not gonna. That's the only bad thing about being a reviewer. You have to review games. Is the fact that I know
you have to review games.
No, not what I meant. Boo-hoo me. Oh, you get games early and get to no, but it's like you don't get to experience in the same way because you are kind of like. Yeah. To the end, I'm like, you just want to make sure you need to try and see everything so you can give a cohesive review as well. But it's hard. But yeah, I'm all for this. 15 to 40 hours. I'd expect probably about 25 then, 25 to 30 if we're being honest.
On average, without doing side stuff, yeah. Yeah.
So cool. Then Nintendo. God, Lee said the name wrong. Nintendo has an unannounced game it has plans to release this year. During the QA summary, Nintendo revealed it has an unannounced game that is planned to release in 2019. There's nothing more here in this quote, this article, if I'm being honest with you. What could it be? I really don't know what it could be. We're not getting Zelda, we're not getting Mario, we're not getting Smash, we're not getting Kart, we're not getting Party.
It could be a Mario RPG, possibly.
Interesting. Do you think this is? Are they making this out to be more than what it is? Which obviously this was drawing a financial report in. Could this be something just to be like, hey, don't worry, we're doing just fine. We've got another game coming this year. Obviously, people know that Nintendo seem to slow down a little bit. They're saying that they're not slowing down and they actually have something coming this year. I just don't know what it could be. We've got Mario Tennis. We've got like all the games that your head goes to. They've already done them all. Well, like, unless we get Mario
and we know
Golf,
games that are coming out as well. There's a Fire Emblem game coming out. There's a Yoshi game coming out. What else is there? There's a few. Well, Metroid's been put back, isn't it? But
not Farming Simulator. Jesus.
Yeah. So we know that the kind of the core franchises have either been out in the last couple of years or are coming, and I cannot pick any big Nintendo franchise in my head that we can suddenly say, okay, there's going to be a game coming. It might be. That's what I was going to say. It might be Star Fox, based on how poorly the last game did. They might want to kind of stealth release, build up to it a couple of weeks beforehand. You get a direct about it, maybe a month or 2 weeks beforehand, to build up the hype that way. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that in the quote, we don't see anything mentioning that it's specifically for the Switch. It could be a 3DS because they said they're still supporting the 3DS.
I hate your guts.
Mobile game.
Why did you mention that?
It could be. I just want to put things into perspective. That is a very open-ended quote. We have more games coming out. Period. Now we have more games coming out for the Switch. Now we have more.
Could it be Mario Run 2?
Excited for. Possibly, yeah. You have to play it on your 3DS now.
I hate you both. You suck. Super Mario Bros. 2 and Kirby's Adventure are both headed to Nintendo Switch Online. Guys, I need to beat a Mario game. I've never beat a Mario game ever. I really, really, really think I need to do it. I don't know what one. I've been playing Super Mario Bros. 1 on the online, but I do this thing where I literally just get to like the second level, and then I stop there. I'm like, done enough. And I used to do the same as a kid. I beat the first level, I'm done. Like, what else do I need to do? It's like I literally turn it on, I run through that level, and I beat it with ease, and I'm like, I'm good. That was my fill with Mario. Like, I'm done. Maybe I go and get Odyssey.
Get
and that's
Odyssey,
the first
because
Mario game
from the way Lucy and Adel spoke about it to me on Tanked Up was, you can play and complete Mario Odyssey really quickly, and then it opens up, and you can go and do all of the extra bits and get your gold coins, or your coins and your moons and your stars and your hats and your things and whatever else is in Mario. But you can essentially complete that game pretty quickly. So I would suggest busting out a GameCube and trying to play something like Sunshine, or getting the Wii out and playing Galaxy or Galaxy 2.
No, the Wii's dead to me.
Because they are phenomenal games.
Galaxy's so good though.
Yeah. No, I've still got a GameCube. I could do that. One day I'll beat a Mario game. I beat a Final Fantasy game, guys, once. Remember?
That's true. Yeah, I'm very proud of you, Fix. I don't know if I ever told you.
Do you remember how to go for a little? Do you remember how he's like, you're not gonna like this game? I was like, we'll see. I didn't even buy it. My game share bought it, and I got in. And I was like, oh my god,
I love this game's game.
Amazing.
I was so shocked to hear you like.
I've done all
game.
the DLC and everything.
I was like, this doesn't sound like a Fix type of game, and it's really like. It's really not. So I was super surprised that Fix got into it the way he did.
You know why? Cindy, man. That girl. She just does things. Cindy. She does things to me. It like gets me so good. This was the week. This week you've got February Games with Gold, obviously. Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon from February 1st to February 28th. Super Bomberman R from February 16th to March 15th. WRC 6 from Jan 16th to February 15th. And on the 360 side, you have got Assassin's Creed Rogue from February 1st to February 15th. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy from February 16th to February 28th. And on the PlayStation Plus side of things, you have got For Honor, Hitman Season 1, Gunhouse, Rogue Ace, Dive Kick on the PS3, Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3, and the rest of those are all cross-buy and cross-play with the PS Vita. On the Epic Store, you have got Axiom Verge available between now, the 7th of Feb, and February 21st, so go get that. It is free. Guys, let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. Chris, you can go first.
You guys can catch me on twitch.tv/Krishna, where I play Apex Legends.
I'm trying
to feed my addiction.
I'm trying to teach him how to promote better, but he puts on these announcer voice for some reason. Like
I like that promotion. It's me, man.
It's true. So is that literally it right now? Just Apex?
Yeah, man. I'm so invested in that. Yeah. Apex Legends.
I hate you. Ben, what you got to plug, man?
We'll be here for hours. So, swiftly.
Do it. Yeah. That's what I do when I go on podcasts.
So, firstly, go to outoflives.net. Everything I do is put up there. I write an article, maybe 2, every week, just about my opinion in something in the news. I wrote about Days Gone and Sony's approach to marketing their games versus something like Apex Legends, which did huge numbers in a really short space of time and came out of nowhere. So things like that, just my opinion on stuff. If you want a little bit more, if you want to hear about me talk a little deeper about games and get drunk while I do so, go to Tanked Up. It's available on every podcast service, Spotify, all of them. I am at Nova_47 on Twitter, on PSN, on Steam. If you want to play some games with me, I'll be slow, I'll be old, I'll drag you down, and you have to revive me. I'm going to come and play Apex Legends with you guys and just have to constantly be revived all the time.
I mean, you can play with Christ. I'm quitting.
Play with Fix anyway, so
fuck you.
No difference.
Thank you so much for being on the show, dude. I appreciate it. You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. What's the big one this month? Patreon. We are $5 away from our $350 goal, which is a karaoke stream. Me and Haley, we're gonna get drunk and we're gonna play Rock Band, we're gonna play SingStar, we're gonna play Def Jam Rap Star, we're gonna play the Disney one that I bought her. We're gonna just go absolutely, and everyone knows I love me a bit of Hannah Montana and High School Musical, so I'm gonna go ham. So we're $5 away from that, so if you're not a Patreon supporter, please consider going to patreon.com/mcfixer. Remember, if you've got Twitch Prime, you've got Amazon Prime, link the accounts and gift away your free sub every 30 days. If you ain't giving it to this guy, give it to Crash, because Ben doesn't stream. Otherwise, I'd say him. And until next week, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Thank you all. and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Boy.